Look at me, Joanna.
Come on. Get out to warm us up.
Mom, I promise you, the sun won't listen. The sun does whatever it wants, whenever it wants.
Check
Sometimes traffic lights do what I want them to.
check the weather. Everybody, our little group, you're gonna face camera.
And I'll take a shot, a still shot too.
Jade.
Okay. No, I'm just going to take a photograph too.
You up in the morning? Huh? Okay, thank you. Bye, donkey.
Well, that's a young one there, huh?
Yeah, there's small one. There's quite a few small ones. Normally in the upslope, you get the trees with the big leaves because it's a clay soil and the rock it's a granite. But as you go down to the downslope, the soil is clay. It's either a basalt or a gabbro, a rock.
Okay.
So and then it produces a very good soil, and it means you'll get a very good vegetation, like your acacia, trees. And most of the trees that are in the low slope, they've got small leaves. You know that clay soil, it's very hard for the water to infiltrate.
Yeah.
There's lots of runoff.
Yeah.
So the reason why the trees they've got small leaves is to able to save the energy, to slow down the transpiration process.
Yeah.
The transpiration, it's where the trees lose the water through the leaves. So then the trees that are in the upper slope, they've got a big leaves because there's a high infiltration of water. They get enough water from the ground and then they lose it through the leaves.
Yeah.
So in the upper slope, in the higher slope, you'll never get lots of the browsers because the leaves are not that good.
Yes.
They are not rich in nutrients. They can eat, fill up their stomach, but it's not that good for them.
Filling,
Yes. And then here, the leaves are a little bit smaller but rich in nutrients.
Okay.
Yes. So in the winter time, it looks very ugly. As you can see, lots of trees, they're starting to lose the leaves.
Yes.
They do this for the purpose. It's not just because it's a winter.
Yeah.
Remember, in this area, it's different with Cape Town.
Yeah.
We don't get rain in the winter.
Yeah.
It only rains in the summer. So it means the trees are not getting enough water in the winter. So to make sure
that they stay alive.
yeah, to make sure that they survive, they lose the leaves to stop the transpiration process,
Yes.
to preserve the
water,
energy.
yeah.
So then when we get rain again or before the rain, some of the trees, they generate their own energy through the sun, photosynthesis. So they will start flowering. But most of the trees, they will wait for the rain to come down. It only take maybe 3 days to 4 days. If we get a heavy rain,
And then suddenly it'll be
after
up.
3 to 4 days, everything is starting to turn to green.
Wow.
And you're not going to believe it.
Yeah.
Now it looks ugly, but let me tell you a secret. This is the best time to do the safari.
Yeah, because you can see more of the animals.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly,
It-
because with the leaves.
There's
leaves,
less
you see
leaves,
less,
less grass, so you can see far.
Yeah.
And it also helps to visit the water holes.
Yes.
Because the water are becoming
This is scary,
scarce.
yeah.
Yes.
So most of the
More of them
animals,
are
they
there.
congregate around the water holes. And then from July, August, September is the best time to see the kill, especially the water holes. The predators,
Yes,
it's
'cause
where
that's
they
go
do
to get
the
them
ambush.
food, Yeah.
But during the rainy season, they are everywhere.
Yeah.
There's no need for the lions to go and wait at the dam for 3 hours. For what reason?
Yes,
Because
exactly.
there's not even an impala can go there and drink. And in the summer, they drink less water because the vegetation have got
got more
moisture.
water in it, yeah.
But now everything is dry and dusty.
Yeah.
So after eating, they
have to
go
go to the
straight
water hole.
to the water hole.
So interesting.
Okay. It makes sense.
Yes, totally.
Or I'm just talking rubbish early in the morning.
No.
Babalas!
No, makes
Okay.
perfect sense.
It looks like there's fresh poo up there too.
More fish dung.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Can you
You see lots of droppings almost everywhere.
Yeah.
But in the summertime, you only see the fresh dung, and then after 20 to 40 minutes, nothing.
Okay.
Do you know why?
What?
No.
Tell me.
Because the animals have taken it to drink it.
No, because of the dung beetles.
Oh, really? Did they take
Yes.
that?
Yes. Yes. Because of the dung beetles, but in the winter, because they don't like cold weather, they hibernate.
Okay.
They're only active
In the summer.
in the summertime.
Oh, wow.
So in the summer,
Have you seen
if
dung
there's
beetles?
dung here,
How they
How they roll it.
how they roll it in the
There'll be
balls, yeah.
a few hundreds of dung beetles working on this dung.
Yeah.
And then maybe after 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock,
It's all
after 11, 12, there'll be nothing at all.
Wow.
You won't even see it. You won't
Yeah.
even see a piece of dung. And
What do
it
they
al-
do with it?
They use it to make a nest, and they also eat it. So they lie the eggs in the middle of the dung, and then they dig.
Because it's moist.
Yeah.
And it's warm, because when
You
things
want Manore?
decay, it's warm.
Any update? Lutu, okay. Nenza ka wena ukome. Sha. So they dig maybe 10 to 13 centimeter, and then they bury the ball. So after the eggs hatch, the larvae, they can start eating the dung
they got
and
eggs.
break out. But sometimes they get eaten. We've got like honey badgers, they in the civet, they can dig, and then they can smell this bowl underground and dig and break the bowl and eat the larva. Yeah.
The larva.
Yes. So we only have them in the summer. In the winter, they hibernate because they don't like cold weather. Most of the dung beetles in this site, they fly.
Oh,
in
wow.
the other side of the country, I think in Cape Town, you get flyless. They don't
Yeah,
fly.
they don't fly there.
Here, they do
Yeah.
fly. They've got
wow.
wings. So that is the reason.
Like you would be horrified. You would be terrified. Flying dung beetle. That's
So-
quite daunting even on the ground.
Is it? Oh God, okay.
And the
Glad they're
dung
hibernating.
disappear quickly because it's hot, so it decomposed very fast.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's raining, sunny, raining,
Yes, okay,
sunny.
that makes
But
sense.
now it's cooler. So
Yeah.
that is the reason it can stay here for
For a long time.
for months. Even if we come back after 3 months, these droppings it will be still here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in the summer they come and clear.
Yeah.
So the
Until the
elephant.
dung beetles come back.
No, they're not
Just
gonna
say
eat the dry one.
The
They
dry
eat
one,
the
they
fresh
eat
one.
done
They
with,
go
yeah.
for fresh one. Eh?
Okay.
So
Because it
That is
loses
just
all its
compost,
goodness.
basically,
Yeah.
just for
Yeah.
the soil.
the elephants play important role in the ecosystem.
Yes.
They spend day and night eating, spending about 17 to 18 hours and consuming about 250 to 300 kilograms. But they only digest 40 to 45% of what they eat. If we break this down into pieces, we can see more or less what
What
they
they
eat.
eat.
What they've been eating.
Because it's a
There
very
might be something up there because all of the crop.
so
It's okay, we'll get there.
it's a very poor stomach system.
Okay.
But they help to transport the seeds from one place to another. Especially in the summer, you see lots of seeds germinating through elephant dung.
Yeah.
They also help to break the seeds into small pieces. Especially by this time of the year, the food is becoming a little bit scarce. So you find monkeys, mongoose, different types of birds as well coming after elephant dung, breaking it into pieces, looking for the seeds.
Oh, wow.
As humans, we spend too much money buying perfume trying to smell good. But there's animals here in the bush, they need the perfume as well. Where they get it, like our cats. They eat meat, so it means their scent is very strong.
Yes.
And to make sure that the impalas and the zebras, they don't smell them, they come and roll on the elephant dung, the buffalo dung, rhino dung.
Okay.
All the cats and the wild dogs, they do the same.
Also.
So it helps them to stalk impalas without
Or
picking
smelling
up
them.
their scent. And then here,
Yeah, that's so clear.
here it's on the tar road, but sometimes if you come across with animal dung, you can tell that it's from the male or a female.
Okay. Bye.
How?
Yeah.
Tell me how.
Color,
Color,
size,
size.
smell.
Of a female elephant.
For the female, you know, it smells very good, very attractive, roses. And for the males, it smells very bad. No, I'm joking. You look at the positions.
Okay.
For the male, a dung and the urine is going to be in a different position. But for the female, everything
It's the
in
same,
Same
in
place.
one.
the same
This is a
place.
female.
Because they always
And
pee
this is
when
a
they
female.
poop, don't they?
Yes, yes, yes.
This is a female.
This one's a bit confusing. It can be a female because everything it's look like it's on one spot.
Yeah.
Okay, So let's keep driving.
Yes.
It's just a warm-up. I can finish my game drive here, but I don't want to do that. We can talk from now on until 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Let's see some animals. Kruger Park.
Oh, I've got it.
The size of the Kruger Park is 2 million hectares. The Kruger Park only, but including the Limpopo National Park in Mozambique and the Gonora Zoo in Zimbabwe and some neighboring game reserve, it makes 2.5 million hectares. So they decided to remove the fence in between the neighboring game reserve in South Africa and the national park in Mozambique and Zimbabwe to extend the land for the animals, because the number of elephant it's increasing rapidly.
Yes.
The carrying capacity for elephant in the Kruger Park only,
Yeah.
it's 6,000 to 7,000 elephants. But as I'm talking to you right now, they're estimating about 18 to 20,000 elephants. So it means they're
That's too many.
overpopulated.
Yeah.
But believe me or not, in the summertime, in the very good summertime, we can drive in the park for the whole day
And not
without
see
seeing
one.
one elephant.
Wow.
It sounds unbelievable. The people end up complaining.
Yeah.
They said, yeah, we saw the advert of the Kruger Park, there's elephant everywhere, but where they are today,
Yeah.
it means you are giving a false information to the public.
Oh, rubbish.
We said, no,
It's up to the
imagine
animals,
we
yeah.
only drive in a quarter of the Kruger Park.
Yeah.
Not even a quarter, a piece. Just driving on the road. Look how far
Yeah.
is the bushes. There's bushes everywhere and it can hide these animals easily. It's a
Yes.
big animal, but if it's standing still in the bush without moving,
Yeah.
you might not
Yeah,
see
we
it.
saw this
Yeah.
one.
Do you know why we call
Is
it
that a
African?
girl elephant, by the way?
Sir?
How would you tell from here, Mum?
He
Is
can
it-
tell. He can
No,
tell
it has
everything.
tusk.
You mean?
It's got tusks.
They've all got tusks.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, the African is
That's
different
all
with
the
the
male.
Indians. The
Okay.
Indian, only the male with the tusk, the female, nothing.
Yeah.
But
And
in
here?
South Africa
It's good.
or Africa, both of them, male and the female, they do have tusks.
So you can't tell who's female.
You can. It's a male. The males, you see them
Turn.
alone, but the females, they live in the group.
Yeah.
Remember, elephants are social animals.
Yes. Very much
So
so.
you'll never see the
this
female
way, buddy.
alone unless she's lost from the group.
Yeah.
But the bulls, it's common to see them alone.
Yeah.
Remember, the elephants are not territorial.
Yeah, so they roam forever.
It's a home range. They roam. They go anywhere they want. And then the bulls are not responsible,
Yeah, it's the ladies, the matriarch.
Yeah.
for looking after the calf
Yeah.
or leading the group.
Yeah.
They just do their own thing. They only join the breeding herd if the nature is calling, and then after that, they
They can do
isolate
their own
themselves
thing,
again. But they will never go back to the same breeding herd.
Really?
At the age of 11 to 12 years, the nature send them away to avoid to inbreed with their
Alright.
mothers and
That's
sisters.
clever.
So they will join the big bulls.
Yes.
I think you have seen it before, that you've got one big bull and lots of the young elephants.
Younger males, yeah.
So he's teaching them how to behave from
wow.
the age of 12 to 17 or 18. And then after that,
Then
they
they
can
go
start
find the-
roaming around alone. They will never find a group. They'll just roam around alone. Remember, the males, they get sexual matured at the age of 30 to 35 when they
Wow.
start to go for the mast.
Only.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, they gotta wait all that time.
Yes.
And how often will they go into must?
In the summer, they go very often because
Yeah.
there's a good food.
Yeah.
It's what I notice.
Yeah, so they also, I mean, their
But
bodies are
in the
clever.
winter
They can
time,
tell when it's
eh,
good time and when
In
it's
the
not
winter,
bad.
you do have them. Maybe I can say, not very often.
Yeah.
It's very rare to you come across with the elephant that are on the mast in the winter, but not so many.
Yeah,
But
we came across in Bululi. There was elephants on the mast there.
But he just mated.
Yeah,
They just made it.
yeah.
So
So he was very rustic.
He was very calm. When we
smelling
saw him.
bad, eh?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
but
That's how we
That's
we
how
found
we
him.
found him. Yeah.
Yeah. Who was your drive there?
Raymond.
Oh, Raymond. So, do you know why we call it African elephant?
No.
Because it lives in Africa. So many animals. They love this water.
What are they? Where's the water?
It's on the ground. You can't see it from where we are.
Oh, they dig it up.
They don't dig. It just come out naturally. It's here. I think there's water somewhere here. It's like caves. can't see it from where we are. Yeah, here. Somewhere here.
Yes, underneath there.
Yeah, underneath here there's water.
Water.
You see, as
Hey,
you can-
listen.
What?
What are you trying to listen to?
You can hear lots of things are out there.
Birds.
Birds.
No, not just birds.
Yeah, it's just birds.
That jackal.
No, it's a francolin.
The barking.
No, it's a bird.
There's a barking in the distance over there.
How long are we going to wait to listen?
The hyenas, they've got 2 lobes at the back. The cats is 3.
Is that
And
hyena?
then-
And this?
For the hyena,
This is very fresh, eh?
yeah,
And what's that?
you see the claw mark at the end of the toes. This one is for the zebra, small zebra. You see, it's a ring, and it's look like there's another spore inside it.
That's a zebra.
This is a zebra.
More cookie like
It look the same with the horse or the donkeys.
Thank you. Sorry, waiting.
Feel free to talk.
Yes, please.
Hello, beautiful.
Biscuit for you.
Hello,
Closer.
beautiful.
Enough, that's enough. Otherwise the girls will lose it.
Hello, gorgeous. And you can see the other ones in the back better there too. This is obviously a young one, eh?
Yeah, it's a young one.
I know.
Oh, don't go
It's a
away.
young one, maybe a year, 1 year. They can grow very fast.
For you.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. Oh, they're such a beautiful names. So elegant.
Elegant.
Giraffe is not an English name.
Isn't it?
What is the name?
It's Arabic.
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 Yes, it comes from the word zarafa.
Huh.
It means the one who walks gently
Oh,
or
wow.
carefully.
In Spanish is jirafa. Also.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Spanish. Jirafa.
So
giraffe.
the giraffes are browsers, meaning they only eat
The little
leaves.
And how amazing they eat that tree with the big thorns.
With the big thorns, the
They
tongue.
go around it.
Yeah, they go around it, and the tongue is a little bit stronger.
And then take like one with
So
they
the
pick it up
yeah,
with
yeah,
the-
they pick it up. Yeah, because they are browsers and taller, they help to give shape. They help to give shape to trees. Some of the trees in the bush they look nicely, like someone is trimming them
Yes.
because of the giraffes. Remember, the animals and the trees, they've got a very good relationship.
Yeah.
The trees, they need the animals to come and feed it so it can grow, and the animals are getting the food.
Yes.
But the trees, they need to protect themselves from the animals, because if they don't do that, the lazy giraffe it will just stop here and eat the whole tree,
Yes.
eat all the leaves,
And
and then it means the trees is not going to survive.
Yeah.
So they've got mechanism to defend, which is called the tannina. If it feels like it's over attacked, it releases it.
Release the tannin
And
and then
then-
it doesn't taste nice anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't taste nice anymore. So to stop the giraffe to feed on it, and then
Wow.
it will move to another
Another
tree.
tree. That's so
Yes.
clever.
One thing that's interesting about the giraffe, they've got big heart.
Big heart.
Yeah.
Yes, their heart weigh about 10 to 12 kilogram.
Wow.
And the reason why their heart is so big, to able to push
To push the blood around their body.
all the way to the head. It needs lots of pressure. And then the size of the neck for full grown up giraffe, it's almost 2 meters long, but it's the same with the human being. They've got 7 vertebrae.
Yes, we learned that yesterday.
So you know how they sleep?
Stunning.
It's very interesting, eh? If you see the giraffe sleeping, it's more exciting than seeing a leopard.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yes.
What did they do?
How do they sleep?
They go to the area where there's tall trees,
Yeah.
and the trees they must have branches like a Y or a fork,
Yeah. And they
So-
rest their head in it.
and then they jump, so the head get hooked into the fork, and the legs keep on hanging at the distance where the lions cannot reach them, and then early in the morning they unhook themselves and keep
lies.
moving.
No. Really? What do you
Yes.
mean? The
Yes.
Like this.
And then, you know why? If the lions jump and cut off the leg, before the sun rise, the leg regrow again. Taught them it's a big problem. I think you need to maintain the...
You've got to keep the head
The
high
head
in their
up,
body
yeah.
a lot of the time.
Okay, are you with me?
Yes.
Of the day.
Yes.
Because I'm going to give you short exam, 5 questions. And then if you get not yet completed, you
have to
stay
stay in the
behind,
park.
but at your own account.
Oh, okay.
Easy for their babies
To find them.
looking at the stripes and smelling them as well.
That's clever.
The giraffes, no, the zebras, they've got very good eyesight, very good sense of hearing and smelling. It's the same with the impalas. Immediately they see the lions, they don't waste any time.
Yeah, no,
they
they
just
don't.
run. But the blue wildebeest is different.
They'll wait to see.
If they see lion moving through the bush, instead of running, they'll go to the bush to check exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they
really?
get killed
And
for
then
it.
they get
And then they get eaten. Bright, it's
Yeah.
easy for the predators
Yeah.
to see them. And most of them, they rely at the speed to
Yeah.
defend themselves against their enemies. They cannot fight against the lions. So if they see the lion,
Yeah,
they
no,
just
exactly,
run.
they must
So
run.
they
No,
need
no, I
open
mean,
area. Yeah.
yeah.
So they need open areas. And it's also good, they can see the danger
further, yeah.
coming from the distance, and then they walk away. So, but here in this type of vegetation like where we are now, it's good for the lions and leopard to hunt because they rely in
Yeah, the
ambush.
camouflage,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then your cheetah,
you got
you find it in a more open
Yeah, it will
area
be an open area
because
because
it's
this,
rely
they can't run. They
at the
can't build up
speed.
speed.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I watch quite a lot of documentaries. I find it all very interesting. To see how they. Oh, look, this one's killing the other one.
Everyone knows about it. It's where one species benefit and the other one is suffering.
Damn it.
So growing up elephant, they estimate about 350 to 400 liters of blood.
Wow.
So that's a lot.
So this is quite a young elephant.
Yeah, it's a young elephant. 0.4 cent.
Also for fun. You see them. Spider nest.
It's a spider
Communal
nest.
spider nest.
Where?
There's
Yeah,
lots,
in the
lots
tree
of
right
them
here.
inside there.
How big are the
They're
spiders?
small,
Very
small.
little,
So I
yeah.
think it's the smallest spiders that we've got. So they build the nest together.
Yeah.
Uh,
Apartment block.
You remember the spiders that are building a nest, they rely on it to catch something to eat.
Yeah.
But the spiders that are roaming around on the ground, they rely on the venom to get
What kind of
something to
spiders
eat.
do you have here?
Even if the venom is not strong to kill a human, it's a multi-venom.
Yeah, so it's enough
But
for
it
the
it's
little
enough to
insect,
kill
yeah.
what they eat.
Yeah.
In South Africa, they estimate about 5,000 to 6,000 different species of spiders.
yeah.
But the one that are venomous, I think it's about 5 to 6 of them.
What are they?
Black
they live
widow
all
is one
here?
of them.
Who?
Yeah, black
Black
widow.
widow?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. The brown.
Brown recluse.
Yeah, it's one of them. And then I forgot. And then sec. I
Violin?
forgot it.
The violin
Yeah, the
spider.
violin. Yes,
And the
Button spider.
yes, I think so.
They say baboons. Baboons.
No,
Baboon doesn't
baboon
bite
spiders
you.
are not.
Oh no, but that's
Doesn't
scary.
bite
They,
you.
they've got.
They're
They just
Yeah.
look scary,
Yeah.
but they are not venomous.
Yeah,
eh?
the big ones
Remember?
don't get very-
Okay.
There's a venom and a poison,
yeah.
which is completely different.
Venom
Yes.
can kill you, poison is
Well,
Venom.
venom,
No,
is,
both
venom
of-
will
both-
be effective,
No,
but the poison will just be, it'll be an irritation, but it won't, it's not,
The-
whereas the venom can be like it'll kill the tissue and that kind
Yeah,
of thing.
the venom get injected
Yeah.
into your blood system,
that's it,
and the poison is something that you ingest
Yeah.
or eat, and then it goes into your
System.
system.
Or if they bite you, then it's like local to that area, then surely.
If-
Poison. If
The poison, if
Because
it
it's just
if it
on
gets
that
into your
spot.
skin, it's not
Yeah.
gonna
It
kill
won't-
you.
it won't kill you,
It
yeah.
won't kill you, but
Yeah,
if you
so it's
eat
just
it,
local.
it starts
Yes.
from inside
Yeah.
the stomach. So
Yeah.
the venom,
go straight into your blood.
it goes straight to
That's-
the
yeah.
blood. That is even the
That's
snakes
right.
are venomous.
Yes.
So
yeah.
these
That's why I can-
spiders
that's why I
are
can
not.
kill you within a very short time.
These spiders are not venomous.
Yeah.
Eh? There's lots of them building a nest together and then working together as a team to get something to eat.
Yeah.
But they don't eat the whole body of the insects. They just drink the juice, and they leave the empty shell around the nest. And the reason for them to leave empty shell around the nest is to make sure that the nest is visible, to use it as a plate reflector. So the big animals and the birds, when they're flying, they can see it.
Okay.
This nest, even if we come back next year, they'll be still here. Even if we come back after 3 years,
You'll be
they'll be
amazed
still
how
here.
strong the nests
Yeah.
can be.
But the elephants, buffaloes, different types of animals walking through the bushes, but they can see this nest and change the direction.
Really?
Yes, because they don't like to feel irritated. They don't have
Yes.
hands.
Yeah.
If the spider web get into
Yeah.
their faces, it will be irritating
Yeah.
for a couple of hours. So to avoid that,
Yeah, because they cannot just like.
they
Yeah,
don't
they
go
can't
through.
just
Yeah,
have
Exactly.
they don't go through there. And then the spiders, they are clever. They use the empty shell from the insects to make sure that it's visible.
Yeah.
What is the biggest spider here?
I think a baboon spider.
It's not venomous. Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Good.
Our park, it looks so beautiful and clean in terms of the skeletons or carcass, because the hyenas, they are the one who eat the leftovers, and they also have a strong teeth to chew the bones. So
The strongest.
yeah,
No, of them.
of the
Yeah,
jaw,
yeah.
they are very strong,
Just destroy
and the
the
teeth are very strong as well. So if the lions eat the bones, they can break them into pieces, into small pieces, but they can not digest them as a powder. But the hyenas do that. Because they eat lots of bones, it means their dung is going to be white in color. It shows that it's rich in calcium. So some of the animals, they need calcium, but the teeth are not strong enough to break the bones. So where they get the calcium, they start eating the hyena dung for the calcium. It means the hyena, it helps to clean the environment, also providing the calcium for the other animals. I see the zebras walking.
Yeah, we came from there again.
Oh, we missed them, they're gone. Let's just go and look at the elephants. Can just take a picture.
Is it very difficult to get a picture of lions?
Walking and doing it at the same time. Classy. Insane. Look. So there's a board. Oh, now it's closed.
They always goes when they're together.
Well, yeah.
Look at the other two playing, fighting there.
Yeah, I saw that.
What?
Let's go. Let's go.
Babies are under the tree. Come, baby. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's curious. You're so young.
Real
They're
fighting.
not fighting. No, it doesn't seem so.
Good boy.
The elephants are looking at each other. Come for the car.
So that I want to move forward, but I don't want to block this little.
No, stay where we are. Easy, good.
He just wants to go through.
Yeah, he's clear. There we go.
Come and find.
He's like doing more of a little walk. Now can you go inside? So can you get away?
His mum's watch out for him over there. She says, come you silly fools, let's go.
Yeah, totally.
They're still there to fight.
Yeah, only the boys fight.
Can they pass you? Oh, careful, nearly accident. You may need to move it in a big
Everyone heard about these lions. It's coming. Etebuli. Later to go. I'm 2 kilometers before nifika na mlungote tuko. So nifika kuna nchu. Hakuna nchu mana 100. Sura ka. Mwana ziwi. Hiwi.
Kilometer before picnic spot.
Watu wanaka.
Onto Johan and to very man put it ala.
Oh. Okambo. Start slowly,
Not
slow.
one of them is backing down. He's carrying on. One said it looked like they were trying to make the peace and it was like,
Just missed these 10 lions, yes.
10.
2,000 to 2,500 lions. Even though they are facing a big problem, most of the lions are sick. They've got TB. They get the TB from the buffaloes because it's what they prefer. For example, if the pride is 8 or 9 of them and they kill a buffalo, it's more than enough for everyone.
How do
But
the buffaloes have TB?
it started in the olden days. They used to mix the wild animals and the domestic animals. So it's how the disease get transmitted to the buffaloes.
And
It's very
are they dying from
but
the
tuberculosis is also, we've got the
Yes,
the
they-
damp environment that they like, buffalo like, is a perfect breeding ground for tuberculosis as well.
So they do die, but I think the project is doing well because around 2000 to 2005, they were estimating about 1,000 to 1,500 lions. But last year's statistics, 2,000 to 2,500. So I think the project is doing well. The number is increasing. They vaccinate the lions and the buffaloes as well. So they dot them, and then after that they vaccinate them.
Yeah.
And the
Is it
pride,
effective, that vaccination?
Yes.
Effective? Is it as effective if they haven't got it already?
yeah, it's also
But
to
it doesn't.
prevent it.
It doesn't get them better if they have got it.
They prevent it, and they can also treat them the disease because they take the blood sample, the droppings, the hair, all these things to use it for the research. So
And no people bother
That's
you.
like every other animal. The baboons, they can also jump. Okay, there are other animals.
I want to be a cat. Or a bird.
Just really want it to be her. So close to dropping my phone out right now. Look how grumpy this one looks.
This is a big bull, eh? You can't mess around with him. Eh?
Nah.
There's more than one bull in this herd.
Yeah, they look like the males. They've
There's
got
a baby
like the
right
horns. They call it the boss. They look like swollen in the front. For female, are flat.
Okay.
It's baby.
No, they will run away. They don't understand that language. This is the second biggest antelope in the park. Eh? The first one, it's eland, and then second one, kudu, and then below the kudu, we've got sable. Southern side of the park, you still see lots of rhinos every day.
I didn't even wait.